Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Feeling and Healing podcast. I am your host, Danielle Z, motivator, MFT and the making, and mental health maven. And today I am so happy to have Mark on with me. He is the founder of Encompass Life and creator of the Quantum Leap technique. So, welcome, Mark. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Danielle.
Yeah, I'm super curious. Tell me more about this quantum leap technique that you developed and your diagnosing tool. And I know you're going to show something for us,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
well,
so curious to
yeah,
learn more about
so I've been studying consciousness for 40 years. I've studied with a lot of different teachers. And, when I'm talking about consciousness is a person's ability to have an awareness
it.
and be aware of their reactive patterns, and instead of staying in the reactive pattern, be able to replace one with a conscious response. Can you hold this for this? Hey, Bailey, can you shut my door, please? Pardon me.
No worries. It happens all the time.
Yeah,
We're
yeah, yeah.
human.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
What do
thank you.
they say? We're just spiritual
Yeah,
beings having this human experience.
yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Of
All
course.
right.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, with being aware, consciousness to me is being aware, like being an objective observer of myself, and being able to see the actions I'm taking, the results I'm taking, what's going on with my internal dialogue that's producing the actions I'm doing, and am I in alignment with my results? I used to think actions and consequences. I'm sure you've heard of all that, the actions and consequences things, but those had a little tinge of wrong, like a little shame with the consequences. So these are
Yeah.
my actions. These are my actions. These are my results. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. So I've been putting a system together. I guess I found the bones of the system about 17 years ago. And rather than working in the positive negative world and good, bad, right, or wrong, and every other coaching modality I've ever worked with was all about you got to think positive and don't think negative.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a common thing that everybody says, like, oh, think positive, right? Like
Yeah.
that's very
And to
common.
me, that was one more voice in my head trying to manage all the other voices. Like it was like herding cats.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
And um, and if I was thinking negative thoughts, then I was another way to beat myself up. If I was thinking positive thoughts, it's like, oh, I'm doing so good. That's still all that good, bad, right, wrong stuff. So what we do here is we just work with actions and results. And we have you ever, I'm sure since you've done Myers-Briggs testing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Myers-Briggs and there's another one.
There's disc.
Yeah, disc. Disc. Yep.
Yep, so those are two pretty well known tests. And I remember doing Myers-Briggs. I remember doing disc tests, and the questions they asked me, I could have just basically spit on the paper and picked one, and they
Yeah.
came with a kind of a cool printout and things. But what I noticed was most people when they would get their printout, they go, I'm ENTJ, I'm ISCP, and this is the way you got to talk to me, and this is this, and they wore their label as if that was them. Like this is who I am, instead of
Mhm.
this is something that's fluid,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And so I found the bones of this about 17 years ago, and I can take a picture of somebody's eye and I can tell you everything that's going on with them,
Mm.
and I mean to like Myers-Briggs or disc test times 1,000.
Wow.
And as far as I can tell, in 17 years, is 100% accurate.
That's amazing. 100% accurate. Wow.
And it not only instead of showing like a label, it shows the filters that the person is seeing life through, and also the filters they're projecting onto this fabric of life that's altering their reality.
Wow.
Okay, so
Yep.
with with permission here,
Absolutely.
share.
Share away, please.
I'll
I'm
share.
so curious to see.
Okay,
Yep. Okay.
I just sent you the request to share.
Yes, I just said or just pressed allow. Did it not allow you to share it?
There we go. Thank
There
you.
we go, guys. Of course, of course. Yeah, no, I'm super excited to see this.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So that's,
Peepers. Oh my
yeah.
God. Oh my God. Peep. Oh my God. People peepers.
People peepers.
Yes.
The
Yes.
eyes, the
Yeah.
soul, the, windows to the soul.
The eyes. Yes, ma'am. The eyes are the windows to the soul. So let me share with you just some. I got a couple eyes I'll do, and I also have a chart that shows all the information of how this stuff works. But anyway, this system has been. I worked with the developer of it, and basically what he did, he took. There's a system called iridology where you can look at somebody's eyes and find, the all the. I'll show it to you. All the organs and everything
Yeah.
are shown. You ever done iridology?
No, I've never, don't know anything about it.
Yeah. So you see, this is the pupil.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the iris. Those are the
Yep.
iris right here. And inside the iris, there's all these glands and everything, all parts of the body are represented in the eye. When I was a kid,
Interesting. I didn't even know that. I did not know that
you know,
at all.
yeah, and when I was a kid, whenever I'd go to the doctor, well, one of the first things the doctors would do was look in my eye.
Yeah.
You may or may not be old enough for that to occur, but I remember the doctor would look in your eye,
Yeah,
let me
you're
take
right.
a.
They do like the little eye with that little tool that has the light on it. Yep.
Yeah, that's like looking at the eye, like let's see what's going on, and let's see what's going on. They would look at the eye, and you got some jaundice going on. You got whatever, but they would check the person's eye out real well. Now I have yet to see anybody do that. But anyway, you got heart, you got everything inside here. What we do is we work with the emotional component of what's going on that's creating the deviation in the body.
Got it.
So So I'm going to show you what all this means. Okay. Because you can see the difference in these two eyes. Am I bugging you or something?
No, 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 no. I was just
Okay.
looking at it. No, yeah.
Okay. Okay. You see the difference in these two eyes?
Yes, one is lighter to me.
Okay. Also, can you see the difference with the pupil?
Yes, one is definitely larger than the other.
Okay. So let me show you what all this stuff means in consciousness. Basically, the pupil is our core being, or you could say our soul. The sclera, the white part of the eye, is our outer world. And see these little stringy fibers here?
Mm-hmm.
They represent how energy moves from the soul level or the 4D world, fourth dimension, in a manifestation in the 3D world.
Oh, wow.
And the straighter and denser the fibers are, the more effective that person is in manifesting what they say they're manifesting. In other words, in alignment with it. When there's curves in it or thick spots in it or stuff like this or things like this little spot down here or these dark spots, all these things are filters of how that person sends information to the world for it to form, and also for information to come back to the core being of the person.
Interesting. So the straighter or the, excuse me, like
Straighter,
my layman's mind is the straighter the line, the more aligned.
the straighter line, yeah, the straighter the
Kind
line,
of.
the more, let's say the more the person is effective in this 3D world of both being
Ah,
able to both
okay.
being doing be able to affect it and also respond to it. Here's what I mean by respond to it. Let me see, pull it up here. Where did you go? There we go. All right. So
Ah.
so see this eye here. See those little tree ringy looking things here, right? And all this stuff here. All this opaque prism going around the
Mm-hmm.
eye. So if you say prism, say the word prism.
Prism.
Now say prison.
Prism.
Prison.
Oh, prison. Oh, they said prison. Sorry, I
That's
apologize.
okay.
I was like
Now
prism.
they say prism.
Yeah,
Now say prison.
prison.
Now notice how those words are very similar, right?
Yes, yes.
So when somebody has this level around here, this is like a self-inflicted prison they're in,
Mm.
and this is resentment. So they have imprisoned
Oh,
themselves in a cocoon of resentment towards life.
wow. I'm learning so much because I didn't know that like all of your whole body was represented in your eyes.
Yeah, yeah. I
I had
see.
no idea until you just told me that like
Yeah,
a minute ago.
yeah. I see all this stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
This is negative self-talk.
Ah, so
So,
like that ring, that like white line.
yeah. So this person has a tendency to beat themselves up a lot.
Oh,
So
geez, I probably have that.
eh, probably so, right? And and when somebody has a negative self-talk, if I was to give you a compliment, you may think, what does he want?
Mm,
Like they
mm,
can't receive a compliment. They can only hear what their voices allow them to hear, what their filters allow them to hear. And if they have, a layer of resentment and a layer of negative self-talk, self-beat up,
mm,
they can't receive compliments. They have a hard time receiving. Period. Money, everything they have for that resentment and negative self-talk to stay in place. Everything they want, they have to push away.
mm. Wow.
Yeah, way different than Myers-Briggs test. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because it goes to like, you're talking, yeah, you're my, I think like Myers-Briggs and all those DISC tests, they're wonderful just for like information and just knowing yourself, but it's rarely giving you true insight to
yeah,
why something is happening, you
yeah.
know?
Like how to change something, right? And how to change something. So what we're doing here, this isn't the person. All these things are just an overlay of of how they respond to life. And
Very
so
interesting.
and so when we work with people, I'm gonna show you on the other set of eyes that those things can change very, very quickly. And as they
Yeah.
do, that person's life changes as well very, very quickly. So also, if somebody can't take a compliment,
Mm-hmm.
if I was to say, "Hey, man, can you put the cap on the toothpaste?" Their response may be, "I can't do anything right for you."
Mm.
They also can't take feedback.
Mm. Interesting.
They're gonna take all that personal.
Okay.
Also, I'm just gonna play with you a little bit on this.
Yeah, sure.
See how this is like a cliff here,
Darker, yeah.
and down here, see how this is thin here. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So when somebody has this cliffy looking thing around here, this has to do with that person has a lot of wants and desires in their life, and they may be manifesting their wants and desire when it's this thick. But when it's this red color, they're never fulfilled when they manifest them.
Ah, okay.
Like they can't. And this is also, remember this is also part of the body. So this is actually the stomach lining here.
Real? Oh, wow, that part of your eye that like
Is also represent.
right
Yeah,
around the pupil.
it also represents the stomach lining.
Very.
And when the this stuff is thick like this, there's little cilia, like look like little hair fibers in the stomach lining. And when this stuff is thick, they have they have to be able to stick up to be able to receive nutrients from the food. The first place for absorbing food is through our stomach lining, and they have these little receptor sites where they can pull nutrition out of the solution of what's going on in the stomach. Now, when it's this red color, those little fibers are coated with something, so they're not able to get the nutrition that's designed to be able to assimilate it in the stomach lining.
Mm.
And when it's tucked under like this, those little fibers are laying down in that particular area of the stomach. And also, if you look at that chart, you can see like there's different areas here. Like back is about feeling supported and all that stuff. So
Hmm.
I've worked with a lot of different business owners and mid level managers at different corporations as well. And a lot of times I've noticed in those people's eyes, the area if where back is, that that area is tucked under.
Mm.
And so whenever that's occurring, most likely that business owner and also that mid level manager is in a state of burnout
Mm.
because they believe they can't be supported. And so when they have that belief that they can't be support when it's tucked under, like, why should I even ask for support? Because I can't have it anyway. And they will, and I'll ask them, so one of my questions I would usually ask people, I go, wow, I bet you do stuff better than everybody in your company or everybody on your team. And they go like, well, yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I go, well, how did you
As you
know that?
know, yeah, how
How
do
did you
you
know?
know?
I said, because you have a belief that you can't be supported. And it's like,
Mm,
they'll look at me like, and they go, what do you mean? I said, well, let's put it this way. If when you hire people, you will hire somebody who can't support you, or you'll hire somebody who can, and you'll make them wrong or belittle them until they won't anymore. And usually by the time I give that level of detail to what's going on with that person, they just get ashen white and go, holy shit, you just read my whole career. And then once they see that, they can make the change, and the eyes will change, and so will their behaviors, and so will their belief systems. And can happen really, really quickly. So go back to this eyes here, who are I showed you before. Big people. You can also see this pupil's misshapen, right? A
mm-hmm.
little. It's
Yeah,
not, it's
the
not as
one's
odd.
more
Yeah,
round and
yeah,
one is
not yeah. Well, this one's more misshapen. This one's going more round. Also, you can see how this fibers are clumpy up here on the left eye, right here. Can you see my cursor right there? See, it's
yeah.
clumpy, and then over here it's beginning to thin out.
Yep.
Yep. Also, the fibers are really wavy here, and
Mm-hmm.
they're beginning to straighten out here.
Yep.
Also, this little clumpy stuff down here. See the stuff down here? If you look over here, like, whoa, where'd it go? Also, this spot right here. And see, and it's not just, you can see the spot is like more oblong.
Yeah.
And then this spot over here is more elongated, but it also has more fibers going through it than this has over here. This has more of those little stringy things going through it. So tell you what all this stuff means in consciousness. When the pupil's this
Interesting.
big, this is adrenal fatigue, and it's also the person's in a state of overwhelm. In other words, they can't handle one more thing. This is
Mm.
the same camera, exactly same lighting conditions. And by the way, these photographs are the same eye, same person. They were taken 4 days apart.
Wow.
And you can also see the eyes over here. So a person has that adrenal fatigue and that state of overwhelm has subsided in 4 days, and that when the person's eye is misshapen like this, they have trauma in their childhood that they have yet to heal.
Mm. That's very interesting.
Yeah. And so when the fiber has this, and then over here where this fiber is really clumpy, this person is in a lot of pain. They're like in a healing crisis with a whole lot of pain going on. And
Mm.
then most likely it's going to be emotional, but it's also going to correspond physically as well.
Wow. I mean, you're giving me new meaning to the saying, like the eyes are
Windows
like
to
the
the
window to
soul.
the soul. It's true. They true. Like I always just, think, that's just a saying, but it truly is. I
It
mean,
truly is. It
yeah.
truly is. Yeah. And see how wavy the fibers are. When somebody has wavy fibers, this is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, right? I'm sure you heard of that before.
Yes, I
And
have.
my definition of OCD is where somebody's looking for something in their outer world in order for them to feel something on the
In
inner.
the inner world. Yep.
So if when I have X amount of dollars in the bank, I'll finally feel secure. When I have the perfect relationship, I'll finally feel loved. They're living life
Mm.
backwards.
Yeah.
And also, when they have the OCD deal, since they can't control their own body chemistry, they're trying to control everybody else around them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're trying to manipulate and control everybody around them and blame them for their own inability to control their own feelings and perception of life.
Yep.
And then this stuff over here, this is resentment,
Mm. Interesting.
and this is partnership and forgiveness.
Mm.
This is kidneys. This is partnership and forgiveness, and this is with the female. So she had a lot of mommy issues when she came in.
So you can see that darker part there.
Uh huh.
Huh. So interesting.
Yeah, it's wild. And you can see over here how the fibers have straightened out, how that
And
resi-
yep, yep.
and how that resentment she was carrying. And if you I can pull the chart up over here again.
This is so interesting.
It's wild. It is
And
wild.
now you could just see. And I have a question for you, but I'll let you finish
Go.
like kind of explaining too, because I'm just out of curiosity. But continue. I don't want to interrupt you.
Yep. Well, you just did. I'm joking. I'm joking with messing with you. So you can see. So she. So that resentment stuff was started from over here. So she's been in survival a long time and has resented it. She's had some things that she requires to let go and hasn't been able to, and she's resented that. And she's been having a whole lot of grief. She
Mm.
hasn't felt under. She's had some resentment about not feeling understood or understanding her mother.
Mm.
And
Well, I see
you
that the mother thing is still that dark spot is still there.
yeah,
I mean, that's gonna.
and left eye is mom's lineage. It's also receiving, creative, intuitive, and the right eye is dad's lineages. Male, career, linear, logical, and giving. And we're kind of like a battery. When we're receiving and giving equally, we're in the flow of life.
Mm,
If we're receiving and not giving, that stingy and that constriction keeps us from being able to receive anymore because we're hoarding.
mm,
And if the right eye, if there's the right eye has more fibers than in the left eye, that means they're giving more. And some people are better at giving than they are at receiving, but they're going to burn themselves out too. So you can see like all this stuff that's a visible representation of what's actually going on in that person's consciousness and the way they're responding to life.
that's so interesting.
I've been doing this for 17 years, Danielle, and every time I do it, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
I want to do this. Sign me up. I want to see.
Okay, where are you? You're in New Jersey, right?
I'm in New Jersey. I can't. Could you? Do you have to do this physically in person? You can't do
Well,
it
just to take the photo. We're gonna be in Philly. How far are you from Philly?
like an hour and a half. Not far.
We're gonna be in Philly in May.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Come,
this
come.
is so cool because that like I mean I didn't realize that our how like I mean
Yep,
how what our eyes could tell us like
yep.
literally.
We were doing this at I choose remember it was Cellcore is a pharmaceutical
Okay.
nutraceutical company. We had a booth at a nutraceutical company and I had a I think I gave a speech there and stuff. And we had a little booth at the Cellcore, I mean at the Cellcore convention. And we're telling people, hey, we can find out what your sabotages are by doing an EyeTalk session, and like when you remove your sabotages, your life's gonna grow really really quickly. We've had numerous people came to it. One lady go like, well, sign me up because I've been stuck in the same place for
Yeah.
right. So she comes and does a session, and within 6 months, she had two different businesses. One of them tripled and one quadrupled.
Wow. That's
6 months.
crazy. In
Yep.
6 months. Yeah, and you because that's what you mean. You talk about quantum, you know what I mean? At the time
Quantum leap.
that's what the first time we spoke, I remember like that was just so
Yep.
impressive about the work that you did is that like that is quantum leaping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like shifting timelines,
Yep.
it's just amazing the speed at which you can get the results that you do.
Yep. Yeah. It is wild. So I worked with the lady. So they had a spot just like this in her eye, except there was no fibers going through it. And when
Mm-hmm.
somebody has a spot like this, there's no fibers. The spot itself is called lacuna. And when there's a spot with no fibers going through, these are like belief systems. Like
Okay.
what they believe about life. Like she believed that she couldn't forgive her mom or what this person did. But hers is she's trying to work with it, but she has resentment there that she has to get rid of before she could really forgive her mom.
Got
So
it.
so I worked with a lady who I looked at her, took a picture of her eyes, and she had no fibers going through this spot like this. So I already knew the answer. I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Hey, how's your mom?" can I cuss on this show? Is
Of
that
course, you can say you can cuss. It's
like
fine.
she
Go
goes
for it.
she goes, I hate the motherfucking bitch.
Oh, geez.
And I was like,
Okay. Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
whoa,
Validated everything that I'm seeing.
everything I was saying.
Yeah.
And 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 she goes, and don't tell me, these were her words. She goes, don't tell me I have to forgive her because I've been going to therapy for, I think she said 10 or 15, 10 years or something. And they told me I have to forgive my mom. And she goes, I can't even imagine forgiving her.
Oh boy.
One of those, right? And it wasn't just her. It was the I mean, like a whole bunch of more cuss words, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, great, you don't have to. She goes, I don't. I said, no, of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I said, what's your life like in 5 years if you don't? And she goes, well, I'm still bitter. I'm still there. That's wonderful. That's great.
No progress made.
No, it's just, I mean, oh my God, you get to be miserable for another 5 years. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I said, now, whatever you do, don't forgive your mom, but just pretend you did. But whatever you do, don't do it. And so, that was your life like in 5 years? And she goes, I'm finally free. I'm finally free. What? I'm finally free to live my own life. And she just starts crying.
Oh.
And I looked in her eye, and the spot that had no fibers through it, whatever, 5 or 10 minutes earlier, all of a sudden had fibers going through it.
Wow.
Instantaneous eye change.
Instant. Wow.
As soon as she could pretend.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because now that belief, that fact of she was, I can't even imagine. She was able to imagine forgiving her, even though she hadn't. But she was able to imagine. As soon as she was able to imagine, those fibers went through the eye. When she went back to her room, I was at a fast retreat doing these things. Neither her nor her mother had spoken to each other in 13 years. No
Wow.
communication at all. While she was in session doing that, her mother called her and she goes, I just want to let you know I love you.
Oh my gosh.
And I've had that happen. I choose to know. In this last 17 years,
Wow.
50
That's
times,
amazing.
50 times.
That is amazing.
So as soon as somebody clears something up in their own energy, everything in their world changes.
Absolutely. I mean, what do they say? This and what you're saying kind of reminds me of the saying with energy is like what you resist persists.
Yeah,
So it's like what you keep resisting, I guess, with this woman and not being in contact with her mom, you're gonna continue to stay in that unfortunately vicious cycle.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that's an amazing story.
yeah. I mean, I could give you so many stories, and we've also had people come in and have spontaneous healings. We had a lady come in with, have to have her gallbladder taken out, does a class, goes back to the doctor and goes, your gallbladder is perfectly healthy. What did you do? I mean, that type of stuff. But we're working with the emotional component that's creating the state of non-ease. We don't work with disease. We work with restoring ease to the body, to the nervous system, to the person's psyche, getting rid of the emotional things
Yeah.
that they have yet to handle in their life.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is very powerful. And that's the thing I think what you're doing here too is not only like you're getting to the root cause of something and
Right.
like and that's what I think a lot of I'll share just like generally in therapy because I'm going back to school to be a therapist. I love what I do, but that at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hypothesize this person in front of me has said symptoms or disorders or whatever. And I'm trying to figure out what was the root cause of it so we can like work on that. But that takes, I mean, this is more, instant because you have a map. With people, they can tell you, they can lead you down rabbit holes and you're like, wait, this is not where we should be going.
Mm-mm.
You
Yeah,
know?
with this diagnostic tool, we're in it, and I mean instantaneously, and
Yeah, that's awesome.
even the other tools we have here, everything we do within 3, 4, 5 words, we already have it. It's
No,
really it's
that's
really really
amazing.
it's really really fast.
And then I guess once you're actually why my one question that I was going to ask you because I was like thinking about this because I'm new to this whole eye like well, pun intended eye-opening experience.
Yeah, yeah, funny.
I got it.
Ah,
Um,
awesome.
so with screens. because I know like that affect that impacts our eyes, and like how have you seen in the last 17 years, 'cause obviously that you've been doing this for 17 years, and smartphones and computers, have you seen, I don't know, an impact in the results, or
Well,
is it
I
so?
wouldn't know. Like, I wouldn't know the picture of the eye before that person
Oh,
started using
before
it.
the person got it. Okay, okay. You would have
Yeah,
to see
I'd have to have the
after.
contrast. Yeah,
Got
like this. The difference here was at the beginning of a 4 day class, at the end of a 4 day class,
got it. Got it.
and
Okay, okay. That makes sense. Got it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
this one class when we take before and after eye photos, and then we do a session with the person and we go, okay, here's where you were at the beginning of class. Here's where you are at the end of class. Here's what's changed in your consciousness. And then
Mm-hmm.
we go, okay, now how how are you gonna apply how are you gonna apply this new tools to your life to make sure that they get in the usage of their new gifts? Because
Mm-hmm.
if they don't use it, they'll go back to the old habit. So what are you gonna do with this? What are you gonna do with this new awareness? And so they have to be able to apply it to be able to really lock it into place. I mean, once somebody does this work, they it's a permanent change. Sometimes
Oh,
people,
wow. It's
yeah,
permanent?
yes, ma'am. I mean,
Wow.
sometimes people will say, "Well, yeah, I've had people go back to like doing drugs or something," but
Mm-hmm.
that's usually a rarity.
Mm.
And if they do, um, if they will give me a call within 5 minutes, they've had a reset, and that 5 minute reset is usually good for life so far.
Wow. So yeah, I guess I don't want to make the assumption, but this seems to be, I mean, could be very powerful with people struggling with addiction, or
Everything.
alcoholism,
Yeah.
even I could even think like I'm thinking of like a weight and like emotional eating and being overweight. I don't know if you've worked with somebody who
Mhm. Oh yeah,
um
all that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and it can probably change them very rapidly, I can
Very
imagine.
rapidly. Yes, ma'am.
That's amazing. This is pretty
Yeah.
awesome. I'm like very curious about your feeling, because your whole, and a quick question too, from like, I guess maybe going back to your example with that woman who was able to, I guess like give her, what was it, her work results were able to like share her profit from her business was like three times, six
Yeah,
times
yeah, yeah, yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
Does that, I guess, same compounded rate like continue, or do you kind of
She's still
plateau?
going up.
Okay.
We just we just did a class from How to Wow in
Mm,
January,
very cool.
and um, most of the people who came to the class were involved with a network marketing company.
Hmm.
And there was like I think we had like 28 of them in the class. We Our classes are small; they're experiential, so there's like 28 of them. And I could tell like the whole group shifted at once. I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are like they're they're all in the same downline. I said, oh my god, these guys downline are going to to accelerate. Within 2 weeks, two of them had both increased their business by 5x.
That's amazing.
5x income increase within two
And this
weeks.
was like in like a group set, like you guys, of course, did their kind of examinations individually, but you kind of did a group, like a group seminar
Yeah,
where
this was I mean, this was pretty much before we even did the iTalk session, just from being in the class.
wow,
Yep. And that's why we call the class from how to wow.
wow to wow, yeah, that's amazing. I
Yeah,
love that.
thank you, me too. And
Yeah, no, it's
it's really fascinating. You produce breakthrough results in a matter of seconds.
wow, very, 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 very cool. This is like, I mean, I'm very curious to when you guys are in Philadelphia. You guys gonna do a similar kind of
Yep.
like
Yeah,
workshop?
same class as Philadelphia.
Oh, I'm gonna definitely have to get the information about this, because
Yeah, and um we have several therapists coming to the class who are
oh
taking it.
wow,
Yeah, we're we have a lot of therapists who are now starting to get interested in what we're doing here, and they're
yeah.
taking and they add it to their tool set. So and then what they're noticing is that it distinguishes them from other therapists,
Yeah.
and they're able to raise their rates
Well, and also too, the speed. I mean, that's the one thing going back to, I was actually having a conversation with somebody today, and that's what I think sometimes people get caught up in, especially with working with therapy. I'm an advocate for it. It's helped me, but there is a time, you have to be ready, and this just kind of cuts. I mean, this takes so much less time to get to the root cause of things.
Yeah.
It can give you so much insight to the person. And I mean, of course, like as I say, with people in talk therapy, you only know what they're gonna share with you.
Hmm.
So, you could tell by, I mean, and you came up with that, like that diagram. That's all proprietary to you, that whole.
It was from there. I made changes to it, but there,
Yeah,
this was the guy I studied with did it.
got it.
A lot of it, and I made some other changes with it as well.
That's really, really cool. Like I could see how now, I mean, the little I know about, well, EMDR therapy, I can see why it's like so effective now because
Hmm.
of what you just showed me.
Yeah, and the eyes are actually made of brain tissue.
Mm, interesting.
So when the eyes are changing, I can show you. Let me can I show you one
Yeah, yeah,
more?
show
Yeah,
me. Yeah, you share away.
share away.
Yeah, share away.
And
Give,
me
give
you
me
get
up, give me all your secrets, Mark. No, I was kidding.
yeah, that'd be a bit. Um, all right, can you see this little halo outside of the eye here? See how it looks like
A
a little,
little bit.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
little halo right here, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like a little bit later. Yeah.
Yeah, like a little whiter,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whiter, and like right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So this person's iris is really all the way out to here,
Okay.
and the sclera is actually has grown up over it, and the iris has suppressed itself and is laying underneath the sclera.
Okay.
So whenever this whenever this is going on, basically the neurons in the brain have begun to shrink and fire in a predictive pattern, and they've certain areas of brain aren't firing with the fervor they were before.
Mm.
So whenever as a people do this work, and I can if I measured the the difference between the iris in this photo and the iris this person photo over here, this photo photo over here, she's actually gained surface area in her iris also. And
Okay.
so when say they gain surface area in the iris, those the brain is now beginning to fire in across the field, like more like it's developing new neurological pathways, new ways of working together, new problem solving. When people are stuck in complaining, the more complaining they do, the more they're going to retreat from life because they're making life wrong. They're going to and they're going to keep shrinking, shrinking, shrinking.
Mm.
When they begin to start to see how all this stuff works, they begin to start to come back out. And what I mean by come back out, they begin to become intentional in their manifestations, and their manifestations will grow in boldness and velocity as they grow.
Yeah, that's where you got me too. Because I will say, like, I know my power as a human being, and I will say I do manifest, but things don't always come as quickly as I'd like. And I'm like, oh, I wonder why. And this would give me
You know,
such insight.
this will get the insight of what you're filtering your manifestations through.
Uh-huh. And like I would love to, what you were saying, like with the I would love to see my eye and see if my lines are squigglier or straighter, because that would tell
Hmm.
me, because I definitely see, little synchronicities here or there. I know we're all connected to the universe.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I would love to, yeah, come to Philly when you guys are there. That'd
Yep.
be amazing.
And knowing it and experiencing it are two different things.
Absolutely. Oh, 100%. I mean, I just learned that from life, right? Like, of course, like sometimes, and I find this in my own life, right? Like, even working with clients, friends, just being a person, like, somebody could tell you something like, hey, Danielle, I see this and might not be the best situation for you. Like, you shouldn't go through with it.
Hmm.
But no matter what anybody tells you, you're going to need to experience it on your own. They may be right. And most of the time they are.
Hmm.
Because a lot of times people that love and care about you don't want you to get hurt, but you have to experience it on your own to really
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. You
know
tell a
things.
kid the stove's hot, the stove's hot, the stove's hot. They have no
Eh,
context for hot until they touch the stove. They get burned one time. Oh, that's hot. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. It's,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah. We can. Pain is here for a reason.
Absolutely. And I will, I mean, I personally think, I mean, pain, of course, I'm not wishing pain upon anybody, but what comes from pain? Growth, you know?
Hmm.
That's where we grow is in our, sometimes looking back on your life, the most painful moments, while they're not enjoyable by any means, they are the ones that promote the most growth and they
Yeah.
they show you who you are. And I'm a firm believer. I was talking to a friend about this earlier today that like I always want to grow. So I've come to terms with that. Like be, I will have periods of time where I will be uncomfortable.
Hmm.
That's just because I want to grow because you don't grow inside your comfort zone. You grow outside of it.
Yeah, the comfort zone thing too.
Mm,
A lot of people talk about they've got to be in their, they want to stay in their comfort zone.
yeah.
And I believe that's a misnomer.
Okay.
I believe most people are stuck in a familiar zone, not comfortable,
That's
not,
true. Okay. Yeah.
not
Familiar.
comfort. And most people are familiar with being miserable. And so what has people stay stuck is when you call where they are comfortable, and they go, well, if this is comfortable, and I'm gonna have to get out of my comfort zone, and that this is what you call comfortable, what the fuck am I getting into?
Mm,
But if you go, hey, this is a familiar zone, and hey, you're familiar with being miserable. Oh, I am. And so we're gonna get you out of misery, and you're gonna go into something. Oh, then it's easier to make that transition.
Yeah, I like that because also too, we're wired, as you know, probably more than me, that we're wired to go, our brains, our nervous systems, to what's familiar. I mean,
Yeah,
even if it is
the misery.
unhealthy or miserable or
Yeah,
gives you provokes a negative an emotion, like it, where that's how we're wired as human beings to
yeah.
like, I hate to say to keep it's to keep us safe. Like I get it. We don't want to.
Have you ever seen a movie called What the Bleep Do We Know?
No, I've never heard of it. What the bleep do we know? Never heard.
Yeah, What the
I have
Bleep
to
Do We Know?
what the bleep do. I have to write that down.
Yeah, and basically, it's showing um, our body is basically a chemical producing factory, and so people become addicted to the drug of misery.
Huh.
I mean, misery, the feeling of misery is just a chemical cocktail.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's all just, our
Body,
biological, like, yeah,
yeah,
like
it's yeah,
chemicals and
right. The
hormones. Yep, yep.
the endocrine system produces hormones we recognize as feelings, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And
Yeah.
so people, and you know, what I see is people are more, the chemicals our body produces and people get addicted to. It's tougher for people to see than an addiction from the outside,
Mm,
because outside they're smoking something, snorting something, shooting something. There's something they're taking in. But when their body's producing the chemicals, that it's like it tell you like, oh wow, I'm actually producing this, and it
mm,
just that's like a more insidious addiction.
interesting.
And
Yeah.
people get addicted to the drama, and then that's where, psych.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other a
Right,
whole other.
but it's that chemistry. They don't know who they'd be without, and a lot of these chemical addictions, of maybe anger or hatred or whatever, they go back eons in that person's life.
Oh, absolutely. They're all deep rooted somewhere
Yeah,
in like their core of that person's being. Absolutely.
yeah. So if you imagine somebody doing cocaine for 10 generations, where the baby is carried with the mother doing cocaine, nursed with the mother doing cocaine. As soon as they start eating, they start giving them cocaine, right? And
Yeah, you're right. Because if they're basically, they're the
they're,
mother's
they're
body is basically the baby's body when.
yeah, yeah, and they're so acclimated to it. So when you try to get them off of it, they all of a sudden there's detoxing symptoms and all kinds of things going to occur to come off that level of chemical dependency.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, been
Yeah, no, that was so, I'm so like enamored by this. I'm like, I want to like not to rush our podcast, but tell me more about the event that you have going on in
yep.
May, just so the listeners can know, but also selfishly for me.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, the event is. I choose to remember. We're going to be in. Actually, we're going to be in. We're going to be in Boise next week. Uh,
Okay.
And that is, let me pull my calendar up here.
Oh
We're
wait,
gonna
I
be,
think I have it up here. Let's see. I think I have your calendar up here.
yeah, we're gonna be in Boise, March 20th
Yes,
through the
that's
22nd.
from How to Wow. That's your
That's from
program.
How to Wow. We'll be
Okay.
in uh, Pierre, South Dakota, April 8th through the 14th, doing From How to Wow and a class called Body Electronics back to back.
Okay.
And then we're going to be in Philadelphia in May.
Yeah, is that the May 22nd from the
Yeah,
24th? That one?
yeah, man, you're good.
I know, I'm good. I'm on your website. I can see it. That's
May
amazing. From How
22nd
to
through the
Wow.
24th. And all of our classes, every one of our classes come the in-person class, be it online or an in-person. Well, online classes all come, most all of them come with an individual coaching call as well.
Very
And all
cool.
and all of our in-person classes come with an iTalk session.
Very cool.
And then we're going to be in Ocala. Uh, that's a great question. I choose to remember.
Okay, so that's where you live in Florida, in Ocala. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I choose to remember. We're in Ocala. I choose no. I know we're in Ocala in June, and then we're gonna be in LA in July,
Very cool.
and Georgia in September. And no, no,
Very cool.
Minneapolis in September, and Georgia
So
and Georgia.
you're going on a little tour, huh?
Yeah, we travel somewhere once or twice a month leading classes.
Very, very cool.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'll put all these the link to your website in like the video description of the YouTube video and so everybody can see it in the show notes and this is awesome. I love it. I love what you're doing. Keep on doing what you're doing and changing lives.
yeah. Thank you. I love
Yeah.
it. It's been a huge blessing in my life.
Yeah.
So, anything else I can do for you, Miss
No,
Danielle?
this is amazing. Thank you. Thank you for this information. Thank you for being on the show. And if for anybody too, I'm gonna just give you a little plug. I know you're on like, all the social medias. Your website is on encompasslife.com. So if
Hmm.
anybody wants to work with you or learn more about you, and you can find anything about Mark there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great. Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much, Mark.
Oh,
And
you're
thank you
welcome.
everybody for listening. As per usual, you can find the Feeling and Healing podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, as well as YouTube.
Awesome. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share all